touch white, feel your warmth on the other side. We are threads of light, weaving through the night. Fly to the stars, to the ones out of sight. Every touch, every tear, every laugh, every fight. We are threads of light. We are threads of light. We are threads of light. At dawn, they gather on the wire. Black wings folded, old and wise. They watch the thawing fields below, like keepers of the hidden signs. I came with dust on my knees and a prayer I couldn't say. One raven turned its knowing head and showed me where the path would end. Hear them rise over our names. Hear them carry what we can't explain. Raven circle, pull us near. Raven circle, make it clear we are one breath, one flame, one choir, one dark wing lifting the fire. Raven circle, call us home. Raven circle, not alone. Mothers came with braided hands. Children laughed in the morning cold. Old men set down their heavy grief by the cedar fence and the folded road. We shared our bread, we shared our songs, we shared the silence too. And every raven in the trees seemed to sing the same truth through. Hear them rise over our names. Hear them carry what we can't explain. Raven circle, pull us near. Raven circle, make it clear we are one breath, one flame, one choir, one dark wing lifting the fire. Raven circle, call us home. Raven circle,
Good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Raven Circle. How's everyone doing? What do you guys think about the new version of Raven Circle? Thought I'd test the waters. Say hello to a couple of people. Hey, Joyful, how's it going? Good to see you here. Hannah, great to see you here, my love. How are you doing? Tina, good to see you. Karen Intrigue, how are you doing? Great to see you here. New News Weekly, great to see you. Caught your second live, amazing. No Cap, how you doing? Cheryl Bourgeois, how's it going? Good to see you. Essie, great to see you, my love. How you doing? Carol whoever. Hi, how's it going? Ellen to Stephen, how are you doing? Great to see you here. Let's talk. Good to see you. Donna, how are you doing? Great to see you here, my love. Love the intro, thank you. JC Fitzpatrick, how are you doing? Great to see you. And I'm not sure how to say this without swearing. Pizza Mawing. Hey, oh, hi from Helsinki. How's it going over there? Jennifer, how's it going? Good to see you. Been feeding 6 motherless kitties. Oh, bless you. It's Loki, great to see you. True Crime Investigate, great to see you. Jennifer Folsom, great to see you. Happy Sunday, everyone. Yes, my NGC, I probably said that wrong, but great to see you too. Cat Farm, Robin, great to see you. Tara, great to see you. Thanks to all the mods for being here. But I know I've probably missed some people, but I don't want to keep DA waiting any longer, sitting around waiting backstage. So how's it going? Oh, hang on a minute. I've got you muted. How darn unprofessional of me.
How about now? Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can.
It's good to see you.
Sorry about that. How are you doing?
Good. By the way, I just wanted to say a quick note. Some people may be confused. I've never dual streamed to both the Beyond channel, which I normally stream when I'm with you, and the main channel. So for the main channel, they're like, what the hell's going on? And why is the branding and everything different? This is usually just only on my Devil's Advocates Beyond show. But today I thought I would just throw it on both channels and see what happens. So welcome to everybody that's watching on both channels, or 3 channels now, I guess.
Yeah, welcome to everyone watching from your main channel. Hopefully they enjoy what's coming up. It's not overtly, I don't think. What do you think, Lee? It's not overtly spiritual what I do on a Sunday. No. I go over some old content, but that's about it, really. So a couple of things I just want to mention before we get into chatting. First of all, because I haven't put up my usual little animation to say thank you to people for their PayPal donations, because it was Hannah. So thank you, Hannah, for your PayPal donation. Also, on the subject of PayPal, I'm so sorry I didn't have a chance to discuss this with my mods, but the PayPal link that you have, can you not use it? Because I deliberately set that PayPal up just for my live streams, and that account hasn't been verified because my passport's expired. So I've got to get a new passport just to be able to verify that account. I will add my old PayPal back for next time, but for now, I don't know if people have been donating to that PayPal. If they have, I haven't got access to it, so I can't see. So I apologize if anyone's been thinking, how rude, you haven't even said thank you. And the other thing is, just to go over a couple of comments again for the comment of the week, instead of doing that this week, I've just decided to address several people who've mentioned they feel a bit peeved about the fact that I've not been doing my usual recorded videos. And I just don't have the time to do both. But what I will be doing is I will be editing any live streams I do during the week, which are just focused on live readings, I'll be editing them down to just the readings, so you won't have to worry about all the fluff at the beginning and the end. So you will just get your usual reading ending up in its usual place on the videos tab. So don't worry, that will be, if anyone's here actually watching this, because probably the people that are wanting the videos aren't even watching the live stream. So it's probably pointless. But anyway. Hey, Coco, good to see you. Yeah, so how's your week been?
It's been pretty good. I can sympathize with the whole not having enough time to do both, because I used to do a lot of long form, and then when I got into lives, you're right, I got the long form started to go by the wayside because I was always on lives and I was exhausted. And I like you, I was like, how can I dual purposes? Can I go live and then cut out the best of the lives and make it as a long form video? And I'm working on that issue as well. But yeah, this week's been crazy. Idaho 4, of course, and more stuff with Turvey, and then the Gonzalez is coming out and countering Dr. Turvey, and so that case never ends. And I'm trying to dive into some other new cases more deeply. So yeah, it's been a crazy week.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I watched the Turvey interview, and I was quite encouraged by that. I haven't watched the backlash from the Gonzalez. Obviously, I've seen the reactions to it and things like that, but I deliberately didn't watch it because I find it's so polarizing. This, when you get on a high about something and then you go and watch something else and you're crashing straight back down afterwards. So yeah, because I was going to ask you actually, because I know that you have worked closely with Chris Whitcomb, and I did catch the beginning of your live stream during the week that you were talking about him specifically.
Yeah.
But before I get into that, I just wanted to know what is your overall opinion between the two of them, obviously Turvey and Whitcomb. I don't know if they completely align together. They obviously feel much more aligned with, getting the message out there that Brian is not necessarily guilty or not involved in the way that we think we've been, that they're pushing us to believe.
Yeah.
But do you think, what's your opinion on the two of them? Do you feel like there's any kind of contradiction there, or?
They do view the case a little differently, but I think that they both Whitcomb and Turvey are certain, I believe, that like we've been saying, that didn't happen the way that they said it did, and that we all got robbed when they didn't have a trial. And there's so much we don't know that had we known it all, this thing would have turned out differently. Now, whether or not the ultimate conclusion of Whitcomb and Turvey are the same, they both agree that something stinks in the case. But they may have slightly different opinions on about what actually happened and to what level Kohberger may or may not have been actually involved. Or they might be, for all I know, they might secretly be exactly on the same page and they're just presenting different sides for us to consider. But so I don't know exactly, but I get the feeling they're slightly off on their thinking of what happened, but they both agree that something's wrong.
Yeah, I kind of, looking at them both objectively, and I think, okay, what reason do they both have if it's beyond, kind of doing the right thing? And I don't know, I feel like Chris Whitcomb maybe has more of a monetary gain from it than Turvey would. Do you feel that?
Yeah, well, first of all, let me say this. I don't think neither one of those guys are hurting for money. I think they're both pretty well set financially. But yes, I think Whitcomb, he's an author. He likes to write books. He's written several books, and he's going to start a true crime podcast, from what I understand. And he's got a lot of ambitions to stay moving in that direction. So yeah, for him, it's definitely a business model. Whereas for Turvey, I think Turvey just wants to get the truth out there, and it's not for a financial. And that's not to say that Whitcomb is wrong for trying to make money. I'm not trying to say that at all. Not. But I do think they have different reasons for doing what they're doing, I guess you might say.
Yeah. So I kind of, like I said, I started watching your live stream and I was so interested, but it was so, as you know, the time difference just doesn't allow me to stay up and watch it. So I just wanted to really, get your take on, because I think the last thing, where I left it was that you'd pushed him that, if you were going to have him on your show, you'd pushed him to at least talk about anything outside of the book. and that he
Yes.
wasn't willing to do that. But
Yes.
that he did say quite explicitly, if you want to know anything about the truth, it's all there in black and white. No one's
Yeah.
picking up on what's being said. Did you find out, or do you think you've worked out what it is? Or
Yes. And
Yeah,
here's the
cool.
thing. I have to be careful because I think Whitcomb said this on somebody else's interview and I didn't see it. And so I don't think it's a secret, but he is kind of working on a sequel to Broken Plea. And we talked briefly about some of the things that he wants to talk about because he already knows them. He can't talk until some more information comes out. So he's waiting for certain things to happen so that things that he's been sitting on all this time and he just can't say because it might be illegal or it might cause him libel issues or whatever. So he knows a lot more than that's in that book, and they're already working on the sequel, and they're just waiting for, like I said, for some new things to come out in official records so they can be on the record about talking about some new things. So there's a lot of, and I've had conversations with them where I hate teasing people, but I have had conversations with Whitcomb about does he think he knows what happened there and who was involved, and to answer it, I think he does have his opinions about and here's the tricky part. He's seen things you and I have never seen. And he says, yeah, I think I know what happened, but I can't say it because nobody's seen it. The evidence not out there. Until the evidence comes out, I can't talk about it. But as soon as that evidence comes out, then he'll be all over like, oh yeah, and then there's this, and then there's this, and then there's this that you guys didn't know. So hopefully that happens soon.
Yeah, it is interesting because it's not the first time I've heard that. I've heard people mention all you have to do is, it's all there in black and white in the documents. And I think, I don't know if it is because people are overcomplicating it. They're looking too hard. I don't know. Plus I haven't myself had the opportunity to go over the documents even, on a superficial level, really. So yeah, it's something I'd love to be able to do.
And I can maybe elaborate a little bit more. I never want to put any words in his mouth. But one of the things that Whitcomb said to me and to the Custody Queens when he was on their show, again, like you said, I challenged Whitcomb. I said, well, I'd like to have you back on my show, but if you're only going to stick to the book, we already kind of covered the book, and things that are outside the book, but you won't talk about them. So what's the purpose of bringing you on? And his comment to both me and the Queens was, there's still stuff in the book you guys aren't catching. It's right there in the book. And I said, well, can you point me in the right direction? Like, what are we missing? And he keeps saying, it's the common area. It's the common area. It's the second floor common area. You guys are missing something. So now that's what he's told me. And that's what he's told the Custody Queens. So I challenged my team. I said, let's go back and reread the book. Let's go back and look at the chapters 3 and 4 that talked a lot about the cleanup, the diluted stains that were on the common area, the rearranging of the pong. So Whitcomb believes that the beer pong table was knocked over and that it was sat back up and rearranged to stage it to look like it was in a different position, which means, and that's the part he's not saying out loud, if the beer pong table was knocked over and sat back up, and if people cleaned down stains and wiped stuff down and moved a White Claw box on top of Ethan's blood, and if all this stuff happened, who's in the house that can do all that? He's not saying it directly, but people who are in the house may presumably have to be the people who did some of that rearranging and cleaning things up. And he would never come out and say that means Dylan and Bethany, for example, rearrange stuff. But it's kind of like he's saying, think about it. Somebody rearranged that crime scene. Who had the opportunity to do that?
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not putting I'm trying not to put words in his mouth, but as I think through it, I think a lot of it has to do with who was there and who could have rearranged some of that stuff.
But you could. Is it that, or is it because the way I've always seen it is that people have come in and like help clean up.
That's
whether
very
that's
possible.
Yeah. But also that actual table, we presume it's always been there. Maybe it was never there. Maybe someone brought it in from another, building, property, whatever.
Right.
It belonged to someone else, and they put it there because it's a distraction.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
I
hard to
don't
say. I
know.
mean, there are
Yeah,
photos. There are photos of the beer pong table set up. There's a
is
photo
that
that I've seen of Dylan sleeping on the couch, and you can see the beer pong table in the room
okay?
next to her. So I feel like it was there, and they had used
Okay.
it before. But it does seem like maybe it had been moved. As Wickham makes a big deal about, the officers on body camera footage that you can watch have to turn their hips to get past the beer pong table down to Xana and Ethan's room. So he tries to
Mm.
lead you through the logic. How is this supposed to be that Koberger chased Xana back to the bedroom? And what did she turn her hips and he turned his hips to kind of get around the ping pong table as they chased her down the hall? And he tries to logic you through, like, I can't prove this means anything, but you got to think the crime scene doesn't make sense. And he keeps telling us to focus on the second floor. So that's what we're doing right now. And we're just focusing on the second floor. Like, what did we miss there about the story on
Yeah,
the
and
second
I
floor?
never got any further than, I don't know. I don't think I even finished the first chapter of that book. So again, I need to get through that and read it properly. But
The
yeah,
problem is
it's
that you and I are not, forensics people. So we look at it, and it's funny what might be obvious to Turvey and Whitcomb, and they're thinking it's right there, but we're like, but we're not forensics people. We're like, we're
no.
trying to figure out what you understand about that. Like, they might see something that, like, if you knew anything about forensics, the answer would be right there, but we're missing it somehow. I just feel, I don't know.
But also, is he basing that on what he's seen and stuff that we haven't seen? You know, because obviously we don't get to see
Yeah.
everything they do.
Yeah. See, that's the
So
thing. I do think both he and Turvey are tainted by the fact that they know things we don't know. And so, and in retrospect, if you knew what they knew, maybe when you look at the main scene, it would be obvious, but we don't know what they know. So that's the problem. That they see it plain as day because they like, how could you guys be missing it? Well, maybe you've seen something that we haven't seen
exactly.
that would make
Are they
everything make
are
sense.
they even looking at the same thing as us? Just, yeah, they're
Right.
assuming that we are, but we're not.
Right.
Yeah, it's interesting, and it feels like we're kind of a little bit left in suspense as well, because nobody knows if this is even going to go anywhere. You know, still.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, so I have prepared. I was just having a mini panic as the intro was going, because I did prepare the Xana reading and I edited it down so it's not the full. It's not the full length, but all I've done is taken out, the dead air kind of thing. So it's much quicker, because I didn't want this whole session to be about that, because I do want to get some people up. If anyone is interested after we've gone over the original Xana reading that I did in October 2024, then I'd love to have a couple of people up here on stage and we can, have a healthy discussion, whatever your take is, whether you agree, disagree, whether you've got questions for me or DA. If you want to, I will be posting the link so that you can join us after I've played the Xana reading. But as I said, I had made the edited version and I can't find it, but I will find it. Don't worry. So in the meantime, what I might do is, of course, play the director's cut.
Oh yeah.
Which isn't that exciting this week. Sometimes I do struggle to find content, but Moose is quite vain and he's just like, dig up anything from, the past on your phone. It's fine. I love seeing myself on screen. So that's what I've done, basically. Let me see.
Real quick before you
Yeah.
throw that on, if I'd like to address one thing, if I can, and I know we're getting ready to watch kitties, and we always love kitties, but somebody's picking on me a little bit. Why are you being so vague about Christopher Wickham? I don't know how to explain this other than I'm not going to get somebody sued, and Christopher Wickham could get sued if he's out there telling people he thinks somebody's the killer. And even if they really are the killer, even if what he believes is the killer, if you can't prove it, they can pull the whole, that's never been shown, and I'm going to sue you. His publisher and him can be sued. So people who don't understand why I'm being vague, because people are going to get sued if they make an allegation they can't support. So until it comes out, he can't say it publicly.
Yeah, well said. Well said. Okay.
And now for some kitties.
And now for some kitties. Play.
I reveal what's real. I reveal the hidden truth. In the depths of the world, in the essence of you, as you wake up from your dream. I'm wise anymore. I don't mean any harm. I'm a spirit animal. So why do you Don't be afraid. No, I won't bite. I'm just a dream, and I won't lie. I've been here since time began. I'll be here long after you. I'm wise anymore. I don't mean any harm. I'm a spirit animal. So why do you run? I'm wise animal. I don't mean any harm. I'm a spirit animal. So do you
Right, hold on, let me remove that. Remove. Oh, why isn't anyone... Hold on. Why are you not back on the stage? Hold on. There we go. Oh,
It's an art form.
oh, it is. It is. That was quite funny. Just after the picture of my heavily pregnant daughter getting married, someone commented, "Was that a bird? It's huge." So that's a bit rude. Yes, that pigeon was literally, I was mentioning this on the live that I did after the eclipse here on, what day was it? I don't know if it was Wednesday or Friday. It was literally frozen for about 15 minutes, not moving. Just say that animals behave strangely during an eclipse. But
Yes.
that's-
Yeah.
Yeah. So, let me see if I can find this. edited version. Okay, why is it doing that? Hold on. Right. So far, so
The
good.
anticipation's killing me.
Oh gosh, how do people do this? So it's because they've got a team, haven't they? People that do this like without effort. I'm sure they've
Oh,
got other
no,
people doing it
it's
for them
never
behind the
without it.
scenes.
It's not without effort. And StreamYard's weird. It makes you take things off the stage before you put new things on the stage. It used to, when it first started, you just clicked on add something and it would replace it. Now you have to like remove some stuff sometimes. And
I know.
it's frustrating.
Hannah likes your laugh.
That's funny. Now I'm self-conscious about it. I can't laugh.
Okay, so audio. Okay. So far, so good. Thank you so much, Dee. Thank you so much. That's super generous of you. It's good to see you too. Thank you, Hannah. You had rain today. We had rain last night, I think, because I woke up and there was signs of rain outside, even though I didn't experience it, but it's much cooler. I don't know if you've been suffering over there as well in Ireland, Hannah, with the heat, but it's much better now. Okay, so let's get going with this. I can't, hang on. Welcome to my channel, or welcome
back.
Can everyone hear that, or is it really quiet?
It's pretty quiet.
Is the reading for Zana Knodel.
I've been having that problem lately too. People always tell me my audios are low.
Case, then I
literally can't turn it up anymore.
Yeah, I've had the same issues recently. StreamYard is making things lower, it seems like, because people complain about it.
Have I got the captions on? At least if I put the captions on. Hold on. Oh, I can't though, can I? Because it's not on YouTube. Is this difficult for people to hear? Because if it is, then I will just play the full version.
The first reading I've done on this, which is the
I can hear it fine.
Reading, and that will give you an outline of what this is all about. But definitely start with his. It's in the playlist under True Crime and Missing People, I think it's called. But today we're looking at Zana Knodel, one of the 4 people who tragically lost their life on the 13th of November 2022. So we're going to explore her energy, what was going on before.
It is a bit low. Yeah, it's weird. It's a bit low, but we can hear it. But...
Yeah, because otherwise we've got to go through the. Otherwise we've got to sit through the full 45 minutes. Just don't know which is worse. 45 minutes or being a bit quiet. Go on.
Is it louder if you play it from a different source? Is that what you're saying? Like if you play it from the original, it's louder?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, this is the edited version, so so I'm literally playing this through Media Player, but it won't let me turn it up any more than it is. So I don't know if I played it from YouTube itself, whether it would be louder, but I haven't uploaded this version to YouTube, so
gotcha.
I don't know. Is everyone okay with it, or?
Yeah, what they're going to do is they're going to turn their volume up louder to hear it at a good volume, and then when we come on, we're going to scare the shit out of them.
Yeah. Put earphones in. Sometimes that helps if you've got any. Yeah. Sorry, guys. I wasn't expecting it to be so quiet. The best way to spend a Sunday afternoon scraping paint. It probably is better than this. Sorry.
Something that may be involved. And as I've said before, guys, this is an ongoing investigation for me. Eventually, I will put all the pieces together and come up with some kind of, I can't think of the word, but I'll come up with some kind of theory what happened.
2 years later and I still haven't.
The Clarifying Life Situations Oracle deck, which isn't specific, it's not actually a crime deck at all. But is quite revealing. So Zana Knodel, who was the girlfriend of Ethan Chapin, the only male that lost his life, probably collateral damage, but we don't know. I shouldn't assume. I have to keep an open mind. So the first two cards, first one is Emerging Dawn, and it says, trust that every end is another beginning coming in disguise. This one, Unity Blooms, foster harmony and connection within your community, nurturing bonds that bring us together. The first thing I saw when I looked at this was, I mean, myself into trouble, but that plant, or the plant background in that, looks suspiciously like something very popular herb that people like to smoke. So that's why I'm getting the connection again to the rugs. There's a connection to rugs. This Emerging Dawn, at first I thought surely the sun wasn't coming up when she lost her life, because it's November. So, you know, sun comes up quite late. Not that late, actually, November. Well, actually, yeah, no. Talking probably past, you're getting on for 8 a.m., something like that. Well, it would be in the UK anyway. Unless I'm missing something here, unless they were still, and I doubt that, but I shouldn't go with my gut. My gut isn't that this isn't about the time of day that she passed, but it does give me a feeling that, I'm trying to find the way to word this. It's like there was something going on. I don't feel that there was a rift between Xana and Ethan, but I do feel that they were united against someone. And I still feel from a reading, and I can't remember whose, that there was a rift between Ethan and someone else. This Blooms card just makes me feel like they were united in, not even in the energy of defending themselves. It was more, you know, stand, we're strong together. The deck is What Lies Beneath. It feels like someone was trying to come between them, but they recognized it and didn't allow. Yeah, I feel like, I don't want this to be about Ethan, but I'm just giving you what I'm getting. Ethan, as I said, there seems to have been a rift between him and someone else. I feel like it's another student. I felt like it was male. And they've come to the conclusion, or that Xana's kind of him to stop up on it. You know, person used to be a friend of Ethan's and they've fallen out, and she's just basically said, just leave it, just forget about him. You don't need him, all that kind of thing. And that's what this Emerging Dawn card is about, because of the wording on it that says, trust that every ending is another beginning coming in disguise, which is her way. It was her saying to him, you know, you have better friends, you have, you know, that are more important in your life, if that makes sense. So let's see. I feel he was upset. He was, you know, emotional hurt, whatever this was about. He felt emotionally hurt by this person that he once considered a friend. I don't know what the argument's about. I wish I did, but. So we've got fulfilling a fantasy, sexual protection. I feel like someone was trying to coerce Ethan into something that was ethically wrong or even illegal. Sexual protection. I don't know why I'm picking up some sort of gossip, rumors. Something was spreading about Xana. Not there have been any kind of truth behind it. But the protection was Ethan standing up for her. I don't know what, again, I don't know Xana's background. I don't know. So this deck is What's the Vibe? It's the sort of thing that would have, to begin with, it would have caused friction between them until they realised someone was trying to get between them. And it was then that, you know, what was going on, and they united against whatever was being said. Exhausted, felt burdened, empty. And again, I think this is about Ethan. I know this isn't Ethan's reading, but obviously I'm picking up Xana's energy at the time. What were her feelings, her thoughts, her motivations? And this is about Ethan. It's like the kind of trying, really, and not getting anywhere. And then we've got hopeful, inspired, optimistic, success. That just be the fact that their relationship was back on track. So we've got tunnel, natural disaster. I'm going to have to figure that one out, guys. It's not clear. So let's see. Let's get into the tarot. Sorry. Again, picking up one.
That tunnel card would have come out at the time when I didn't even know any tunnels
About
were
the
talked
tunnels
about.
underneath. Yeah. I was going
Yeah.
to ask you've got editing on here. When that card flew across the table, did you put that one back? Or did you... I remember
Oh,
we were just talking
exactly.
about
It's
it.
not-
Like it
who
shot
kno-
out. I was like, oh, what's she going to do with it? And then it clipped. It
Who
jumped
knows?
on it.
Probably I was just putting them all back at that stage. I was terrible. But yeah.
Yeah, the tunnels is interesting. You're right, because the tunnels became a major. There's been a lot of talk about the tunnels and whether or not the tunnels go directly under the house and stuff like that. So yeah, that's interesting.
I've always had a feeling, and it's something I've got to do a reading on. I don't think I've done
Yeah.
a reading on the tunnels yet, but I don't know why I've always had a feeling there was a link between 1112 and 111. Sorry, 1122 and 1112.
Yeah,
And I
that'd be
don't know
weird.
why, as if there was something. Yeah, there was a tunnel underneath that linked the two. Whether that's true or not, I just always imagined it. But interesting.
Yeah.
We're picking up Ethan. I'm trying to connect with Zana. That he didn't pass instantly. I'm not sure if there's something went on here where this way I can see Ethan fighting for his life, and I can see Zana desperately trying to help him. I don't know what the natural disaster's about. Right, tarot, emerging dawn, clarify the fall. So they were starting again, starting afresh. Said starting afresh together, united front, not allowing other people to bring them down or come between them. Unity blooms. Why am I getting the surname Bloom? That just literally something to do with the university, something to do with the student Bloom. I'm completely misfiring here, but it just literally went Bloom, like as if this is important. It might not be a student, maybe it's someone else, maybe it's a relative, maybe law enforcement, I don't know. But the surname Bloom is yeah, it's ones. Again, new beginnings, fulfilling a fantasy, judgment. Ethan was a flight risk. So whatever that been.
So yeah, Tara, funny that you should say that, because a lot of people, I remember distinctly a lot of people messaging me and saying, it's the author, Howard Bloom. And I
Yeah.
dismissed it because I thought it wasn't, I don't know what it was, but it wasn't that. Yeah.
They'd been trying to talk him into, and he'd refused. They now realised that he was a risk because he knew stuff. So he was so complex. It's almost like there's more than one situation occurring at the same time, which all ends up converging into one explosive conclusion. Sexual protection, the tower. Was it a distraction? It's like his energy was going into protecting Zana when he should have been looking out for himself. Exhausted, clarified by the Queen of Pentacles. So Zana is Cancer. Who is the Queen of Pentacles? Hopeful, the world. He is just, she was just so relieved. It felt like they turned a corner. They were back on track. This Queen of Pentacles is bothering me. Natural clarified by the Seven of Pentacles reversed. This is like some sort of trigger catalyst, like that was ready to erupt. The Seven of Pentacles in reverse, connected to money. That was the trigger. That was the point. That was the argument. Whether he had money or someone owed money to him. Come on, Dana. Oh God, I can't get to her. Tunnel slipping away. Ace of Swords. There's your knife. Bottom of the deck. Three of Swords. So that's four people, four swords. You've got that one and the other three. So it's like he attacked first. That's not how I saw it before. This is why it's so confusing. It's like he was attacked first and then the other three in quick succession, but there was a gap between that happening. Yeah, I mean, it feels like a different person was responsible for Ethan and then someone else. See, I thought it was one person for Ethan and Xander and another for Haley and Maddie. But this makes me feel like it's one person for Ethan and then one person for the other three that happened at different times. So we're now going to clarify the fall, clarified by the Knight of Pentacles. Impatience. someone else. Knight of Pentacles energy. Someone else who's losing their patience, they're losing their grip on the situation. Whatever this is, seeing the two of them, seeing that their plan wasn't working is just making them more and more. It's not even angry; it's volatile. Ace of Wands, clarified by the Six of Cups. This person felt like they had the upper hand because they felt like they had some kind of information on Xana that they could use to blackmail Xana or Ethan. Whether information was factual, I don't know. So we've got Judgment, which is clarified by the Moon reversed, lies, deceit, illusion, and then this sexual protection, the Tower, and the Three of Swords reversed. There's I keep saying it every time, but it's so chaotic, it's hard to see what's going on. It's like the point where everything just changed. The Tower, sudden catastrophic change. Three of Swords. So it makes me feel like there's, okay, I keep thinking it's one person. I mean, before it feels like the house was in party mode, or there was definitely more than a handful of people there that night. And there's, like, it's like which just ended up converging into one. I feel like there was conflict, confrontation between three outsiders. I feel like one of them could have been Dylan's boyfriend. One of them was Ethan's friend that he'd fallen out with. There's someone else. And I feel like there could have been a female. The other one could have been a female because I've got the Queen of Pentacles, unless it's Dylan.
Now that we're streaming to 3 channels, I have no idea who that's for.
That's yours, I believe.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Shells, for that donation. That's super, super kind, super generous of you. Thank you. And hello to you. You're from Texas. Just want you to know I've followed your channel since you first dove into the infinite pool of what the fuck. I truly admire you, your efforts and your beautiful. Oh, thank you so much. That's so kind. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Because we don't know her sign. It's Dylan. She's the one, Dylan or Bethany. One of them was the key, or the one that was connected. It was Dylan to the money, to the rugs. They were clarified by the King of Swords, reversed. Yeah, it's like they thought it was over. Just went, well, not over, just for that night. They thought they were past it, you know, themselves from a hostile situation elsewhere, got back, and then before they knew it, one of these people had turned up at the house again, and it's another swords card. So they came with their own weapon, and they came there with purpose. Yeah, whoever it was, their intention was to go there and to finish Ethan. Seven of Pentacles reversed, clarified by the Fool. Again, took a risk. Whoever it was, they're like, take a risk. It's worth the risk. And it wasn't a risk of being caught. It's almost like they knew they'd be protected, whatever this was about. They knew they were going to be all right. The risk was whether they were going to get hurt in the crossfire. Ace of Swords, the Hermit. This could be a Virgo. So like sorry, it feels like more like Ethan's reading, and I control that. I'm finding it really hard to connect to Xana's energy, but I did get a flash of, at the time of this happening to Ethan, Xana there and screaming for someone to help. But I feel like there's a distinct time gap between them and then the other three. I need more. I'll pull a couple more of these. Come on, Xana. They were being watched. Being watched, an affair. I don't feel that there was anything going on, but that could have been a rumor. That could have been what this gossip or rumor was about. Secret. So this whole thing is about someone blackmailing Ethan with what they believe they know about Xana, but also there's an thing of trying to get him involved in something that was illegal or nefarious. That's why they were trying to divide Ethan and Xana. It's going to make me more confused if I go any further. I feel like I'm going to have to do Xana again, because it feels like she's just consumed with Ethan's energy. How I'm confused by that one, so I don't know how it's going to make you feel. But you know, I do these readings. I'll be well, not sometimes, always. We'll be about it for a long time afterwards to try and piece things together. And sometimes suddenly something will become like clear. Name Bloom, though, I've got to look that up. I don't know how, but because it could literally be anyone. Like I said, it could be, I don't know who it is, but guys, if you know this name, please leave me a comment. If you find out, please leave me a comment. You've been so helpful. So many of you are just jumping all over this, and that's what we want. I think the truth will ever come out, especially if law enforcement are involved or there's bigger play here, which there seems to be. But I think the main point here is that justice for Brian, really, and will they ever get justice? This is what makes me so sad, because once he's found guilty or not guilty, that's it, case closed, and that is the worst thing about it. The only thing you can hope is that whoever's responsible gets caught in some other way. But thank you so much, guys, again, for all your support, all of your I don't know, it's just overwhelming, your support, and I can't think of a better word, but yeah, I'm still doing live readings, so if anyone is interested.
So let me just take that down. Just want to, because I think that might have been hard to watch for some people, not just because of the low volume, but I think it was badly edited, and I do apologize because it was just a one-click edit, and I didn't check it, and I should have done. But just to sort of try and conclude what that was about, that reading, I remember being very hard to actually connect with Xana, and it was all about Ethan, because her energy was consumed with what had happened to Ethan. That's all I could seem to pick up, is what she was experiencing as far as Ethan's attack was concerned, but also how it had, you know, the build up to it seemed to be that there had been some sort of bad blood between Ethan and someone else. I'm presuming it was a friend or another fraternity member, but this person was deliberately trying to come between Xana and Ethan, and they knew how to trigger Ethan. They knew what to say to him to make him, you know, to make him snap. And Xana was essentially just saying to him, just ignore it, just forget about it, stop giving them what they want, you know. But it had got to a point where it was affecting their relationship, and they'd managed to come back from that, is what I was picking up. And so, you know, they really felt like they were getting somewhere. And whatever happened that night, what I picked up was something escalated because Ethan had too much to drink or something, and he was at some party, and he'd basically been a bit loud about this particular person and their habits with selling substances, but it was who they were selling substances through that he had made a little bit too public. And it felt like that was a revenge thing, that they went to the house that night deliberately to do something to Ethan. That was what I picked up in that original reading. Some things I don't agree with now. Some things I think, when I said I think it was Ethan and then the other three in quick succession, I don't know. I definitely feel like there's a separation even between Xana and Ethan still to this day. I still think that they weren't, I don't think they were attacked at the same time. And I do think Kaylee and Maddie were attacked at the same time, essentially in the same, you know, but not Xana and Ethan. And I think those were two separate incidents as well. So it's interesting.
Yeah, I'll elaborate on that a bit too. And I wanted to say thanks to Shells for giving a donation on my side as well. Looks like she gave a donation to you, or he or she gave a donation to you and then to me. So we both got
Oh,
to just shared the love, and double cool is that. Very, very cool. So thank you very much for that.
so
Yeah,
kind.
I have to say I've always, going back to intuition and not necessarily facts of the case. My intuition has always, for a long time, felt like Ethan was attacked by somebody that was there for Ethan, at least in that room. And Xana, in her attempt to, in horror of seeing what was happening, somebody attacking her boyfriend, tried to interrupt that and got into a fight with that person or the persons.
Mm.
And that explains kind of the whole chaotic thing that happened, because she was trying to fight off his attacker that was going after Ethan. And again, that's not supported necessarily by the facts. And so I have to be careful about, I'm just telling you, intuition tells me she saw Ethan get attacked. She lost her shit and went after the person that was attacking him. And then that turned into a whole bloodbath fight
Yeah.
of really, really big proportions. And then you start to ask yourself, if somebody came for Ethan and Xana just happened to try to fight them off, what was Steve Gonzalez throwing everybody off on something that was bullshit, or was there something to he didn't have to go up the stairs? Was the attack about Ethan? And like you said, it spiraled into a quadruple homicide because Xana freaked out and attacked the person. And then it leads to what prompted going up to take care of Kaylee and Maddie.
Mm.
That's the $1 million question on how that happened. But
The way I've seen it is that they walked in on something they weren't meant to see.
yeah,
And
Yeah.
in a nutshell. But and everything, nobody knows what happened. So
and
anything
if you
we
think about
say
it this
is
way,
alleged.
I mean, to go with what you just said, if someone came in and attacked Ethan, and Xana freaks out and she screams and she gets into a fight, if Kaylee was upstairs, wouldn't she come down to find out what all the commotion is? And if she
Yeah.
came down, wouldn't that explain how Kaylee's blood ends up on the second floor possibly? And did that person go chase her up there? Like, we've always heard that the killer was killing Ethan or killing Kaylee and Maddie upstairs, and Xana interrupted and he chased Xana back down. But what if it was the other way around? What if the fight was going on in the room with Xana and Ethan, and Kaylee came down to check it out and got chased back upstairs and got finished up there? So
I don't think they were home. I don't think Maddie
Yeah.
and Kaylee were home. I think they came home and that's when they walked in on it.
after it had already been finished, or you think what
Yeah.
was going on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or either I think Ethan was gone. I think maybe in the middle of an attack on Xana or afterwards. I don't know. But either way, I think they've come home and bore the
Yeah.
consequences, kind of thing. So yeah.
And again, it leads to an interesting thing. I don't know if you saw the interview. I think you said you hadn't seen the interview. One of the things that a few of us caught when Dr. Turvey was talking to the custody queens, he mentioned for the first time that the clump of hair in Ethan's hand, and the autopsy photo with the hair would mess with the timeline. It was the first time he said the word timeline. He said those details are going to mess with the timeline. So it makes you wonder again, did it all happen at the same time, or was there something happening beforehand? And like you said, maybe the girls walked in on it, either right it was as ending, or right what was happening, or maybe even after. But maybe somebody got interrupted on something that was there for a completely different purpose, and it made that screws with the timeline, because maybe so let me go with the timeline for a second. If it was true that Kaylee and Maddie didn't get back to the house until around 2 a.m., and if it was also true that Ethan got attacked first and Xana got attacked first, then the whole timeline's off, because if they walked in on it, they would have walked in at around 2 o'clock in the morning. So you start to work through, like, is the timeline really off, really far off, or not? I don't know.
I've always thought the timeline's definitely not what we're being told. I've always, from the very, very beginning, I felt that Xana and Ethan were attacked much earlier on in the evening. And then later on was Maddie and Kaylee. But also just talking about the evidence that we've seen, from the pictures that have been released. There's one thing I found quite interesting. And again, I'm no forensic expert, but when you look at some of the pictures, especially the pictures of Xana's room, and there are some, you can see some evidence of blood in that room. Some of it looks a lot older than other, parts of the room. You look at
Right.
some of the staining and it's like, that looks like it's been there a lot longer than that staining over there. So if they've allegedly been attacked at the same time together, how would that even work? I mean, I remember at one time I even looked up how long does it take for a stain to go, to completely dry and go black, because that's what a lot of it looked like. And it can happen within hours, apparently, which I can accept, but then not when, you'd expect all of the other evidence to look the same. Why is there variations? So I don't know. Maybe that's just me, but
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Again, it's so weird because there's a difference between looking at a case purely from the facts and I shouldn't say facts, purely from legal documents and body worn camera, and using your intuition. And sometimes when the two come together, you find new angles to look at, because again, if you just look at the documents, you can't come to some of these conclusions. But if your intuition kicks in, you're like, man, it just feels
right.
like this happened a different way, then your gut tells you to look in places. And a lot of times those come out to be based on truth somehow. I don't know.
Yeah. I agree. And it's the whole, there's certain things that are pushed a little bit too much. The time for one of them, they don't know what time it happened, but constant pushing of, 4 a.m. for this, for that.
Yeah.
And the other thing that I found interesting, and I'm not accusing anyone of anything, but was Dylan's kind of focus purely on Xana in her interviews. And she didn't mention anyone else. She claims that she saw Xana and it was, I saw Xana on the floor, and she's mentioned Xana. There's a complete lack of a build up to that story. There's a complete lack of when they came home. When did you see Xana, walk in the door? What was the conversation? The way you would, if you were reciting the evening to someone,
right.
There would be a story behind it. And there was never any mention of Maddie, never any mention of Kate. Well, she did mention Kaylee.
Hearing her dancing with the dog. Yeah.
The dog as well, and I mentioned this quite some time ago. The dog's barking, but there's no mention of making sure the dog's okay, even. If she's worried about anything and she's just, Xana's unconscious. I don't know. There was something about Murphy as well, and I just thought, why not even check on the dog?
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah.
Somebody was asking, by the way, has anybody FOIA'd Kaylee's phone data now that we know that we have it? There are several inquiries into the phone extraction that was done apparently by Walla Walla. So people are looking into it, and I myself am also getting to talk to the people who kind of opened up that can of worms. And so hopefully I'll hear from them soon. But we are working on that one, by the way. So.
Has it? I mean, because it wasn't just her phone, was it? There was obviously there's everyone's phone. So is her phone the only one that's been kept that we know of?
From what I understand, all the phones of all the victims have been returned with the exception of Kaylee's, because they say that they can't get into Kaylee's. And in fact, at CrimeCon, Christy Gonzalez made a big deal about this panic she's feeling because they're trying to brute force attack Kaylee's phone to this day, and that it could happen any day. It could happen the minute they're on stage. It could kind of happen 10 years from now because it's a brute force attack, and whenever it unlocks, it unlocks. The recent revelations that I've been hearing is somebody proved that Walla Walla, Kaylee's phone was sent to a law enforcement agency in Walla Walla that was able to, according to records, get a full extraction of Kaylee's phone. So then the question becomes, have we all been lied to, and they have been in Kaylee's phone this whole time? And now that people know that Kaylee's phone, there's evidence to suggest that Kaylee's phone has been extracted, a full extraction. Everyone wants to know the $1 million question. Why can't we see what was on Kaylee's phone? Because everybody feels there's answers on Kaylee's phone. And what she was doing that night and who she was in contact. So are they lying to the public and don't want the public to know that Kaylee's phone has been extracted and they're in it? And if they're in it, then why can't we see it? Why can't it be public requested? So that battle, I think, is going on right now, where people are trying to get access and prove and say, look, the documents show you got an extraction of her phone, so why isn't it available?
But why is Christy panicking about it, or why was she panicking about it? What?
Right. See,
that's the bigger question.
So their attitude. This is. I'm going to tell you what I think their attitude is. This is what their attitude is. It's none of anybody's business who our daughter was sexting or having conversation. We don't want her whole life exposed, or everybody's looking through our daughter's sex life and whatever, and reading her most intimate details of her life because you think her whole life now is open season for you to look at. So they think out of respect and privacy, right? That's the best way I can word it. They think out of respect and privacy, nobody needs to know Kaylee's personal business and what she was doing. Now, a skeptic might say they're also concerned what might show different about the murders if we get into her phone. But I don't know. I
just find it odd because, again, is this whole thing of they forget that they're not the only ones, that there are 3 other victims who've also got phones and would have things on their phone maybe that they don't want to share with the public. And I don't buy it. I don't buy that's what she's worried about, whatever's going to be shown on Kaylee's phone, because at the end of the day, the people who are following this case are going to overlook anything like that. We don't care, we don't care if there's something personal on Kaylee's phone. We're more interested in any, evidentiary, something that links to the case. So yeah, I don't know. I
think I'd go halfway with you on that. And I'll say, because I agree, you and I, we're not going to care about making her whole life be exposed to everybody just because we can. So I agree with you. You and I are not that. But here's the thing. The sad part is, let's say Kaylee had some kind of weird thing, like she liked to dress up like a bunny and have sex with somebody, right? If there was something weird in there, a lot of people will run with that and make videos about it and make memes about it and make fun of it. So you're right. We wouldn't do that. But I think there is a possibility that the family's afraid of every little thing that she said will now become the subject of a meme, of making fun of her, of making a big, huge story out about something that isn't anything other than just kids being kids or whatever. So I don't know. I mean, like I said, there's a part of me that can say, I understand as a family, you don't want everybody micro analyzing your daughter's entire life. But also, like you said, you and I are more interested in, we don't give a shit about all that stuff. What we care about is what happened that night. And does it show anything about the actual facts of motive for murder and any of that stuff there?
I just find it odd because I have 2 daughters, and when they were that age, I wouldn't have had a clue if they were dressing up as bunnies and
right.
I wouldn't have known. It would have been their personal, private life. And so how does Kaylee know what Kaylee was getting up to privately?
Yeah.
I mean, has she now got access? That's what I'm confused about. Do they have access to her phone or not?
So they say no. So Olivia Gonzalez has said that they've gotten access to her account because it's on a family account or something like that. They've gotten access to her account and they can see certain details like call times, but they can't see the actual text messages, right? So there's a difference between whether the family has actual text messages and content, or whether they just have timestamps, date, like she called Jack on this day and Jack texted back on this day. Do they just have that kind of information, or do they have the actual text messages? So from what I understand, a full extraction of the phone would probably include actual possible pictures, text messages, and so on, unless they were using an encrypted app like Snapchat or something like that, and it was gone for good. But even some of that could be probably recovered. But
well, I mean, if it's got anything to do with, proving, again, I'm talking hypothetically because thankfully and thank God I'm not in the position that they are in. But I would like to think that if I could use anything that was going to bring justice, to whether it's to Brian or to whoever is responsible, then I'd want it, I'd want it shared. I'd want to do the right thing. I don't know. Maybe that's just me, but
Yeah.
yeah, I get it. It's personal, and I understand concerns. But
And sadly enough, I mean, the full history of her phone, sadly enough, is potentially important for evidentiary value, because while you could say, well, really all we care about is who was she on the phone that night with? What do we know anything more about the 17-minute call with Jack DeCour? Did it really happen or not happen? What's the show on Kaylee's side about the 17-minute call with Jack DeCour? A lot of people would say that all that matters is that night, but it's not, because what if there's a history of connecting with a drug dealer or working with a police officer about informing on drug movements through the house? That could have taken months to develop. And so if that information's on the phone, months worth of material might be important for leading up to what happened that night. So
yeah, there's a lot of different reasons, but I just find it very, I don't know, maybe it's just, I just find it a little bit telling that there is an outward expression of fear more than anything regarding the information on her phone becoming public.
Yeah.
I feel like they've dealt with worse up until now, to be honest.
Yeah.
So Hannah Ray, you said, didn't Olivia initially say she had access to Kaylee's devices?
I remember when she first worded it, I thought she said that. I was like, holy shit, you're just admitted you have access to her phone. And then I think Olivia corrected herself, and she's, well, not her phone. We have access to her account, because they quickly was like, oh, wait a minute. I didn't just say I got access to her phone, because they know that's the big, everybody wants access to the phone.
Because she hacked into, well, not hacked, but she logged into her, not Instagram, her account, the, what's that account called? The one you use for work.
I'm not sure.
Oh, I can't remember the name of it. I seem to think it begins with an I.
LinkedIn.
Yeah, I remember her sharing her LinkedIn quite early on.
And there's people who believe, and I can't remember what she said exactly, but there's people who believe that Olivia Gonzalez knows the password to get into Kaylee's phone, but she won't give it to law enforcement, because the Gonzalez family doesn't want law enforcement in her phone. So what they're doing, from what I understand, I don't know if I can prove this, what I understand is the family wants Kaylee's phone back, because Olivia knows the password and will get into the phone and they'll get to see everything. But law enforcement says, we're not giving you the phone back until we get the password. And so they're in a stalemate. They're asking the Gonzalez's for the password. The Gonzalez is saying, we either don't know the password, or we're not going to give you the password. Give us the phone back. We'll unlock it. And, so are they playing a game of tug of war with it, that the family wants the phone because they have the password, law enforcement wants the password before they get the phone, and neither one of them want to cough it up, so they're at a stalemate, and they're just like, well, just screw it. We'll brute force attack the phone until we get into it. So
it's interesting. I don't know what brand her phone is, but I know that iPhones are notoriously difficult to crack.
Right.
I've had personal experience with a similar situation where forensics have had a phone of someone in my family and they've not been able to get into it.
Yeah.
And having said that, obviously the person who had that phone still had access to the content because of the cloud. So, exactly, possibly the same sort of situation going on with the Gonzalez. They know what's on her phone, but they also know that law enforcement can't get into it, or forensics can't get into it unless they're given, like you said, the password. So
yeah.
So Sleepless in South Africa, you said she did have an iPhone. It would make sense.
I'm being told that Olivia did say on her interview with Cy Ray that she has the password to Kaylee's phone. So I thought I had heard that she had the password and just won't give it to law enforcement. And somebody is telling me that Olivia actually said to Cy Ray that she has the password to Kaylee's phone. But again, they won't give the password to law enforcement because they don't want they want to be able to see what's on the phone before law enforcement does, I think. And law enforcement doesn't want to give them the phone back so they can use the password that they know to get into the phone, because they don't want the Gonzalez's getting to it first. So
See, this is a completely different issue as well. We're now not talking about the public seeing what's on Kaylee's phone. We're now talking about the Gonzalez not wanting law enforcement to see what's on Kaylee's phone,
Right.
which
Right.
is another issue altogether, and
Yeah.
an even bigger question. I mean,
Yeah.
because again,
Right.
if you want justice for your daughter, that's a huge part of it. You have to allow them to have access to her contacts and
Right.
her conversations and her history and her comings and goings and all of that. And they're saying no. What?
Well, and here's a really interesting question never asked before. If it is true Olivia has the password, how is that not obstruction of justice? Okay, because if she's admitting I have the password but I just won't give it to you, then she's obstructing. And then you could argue, I could play devil's advocate with myself. It's not obstructing justice because there's no investigation anymore. We know who did it. He pled guilty. So there's not an ongoing investigation. So therefore, you're not obstructing justice. You can make that argument. But if they were still trying to find out what happened, if anybody was still trying to find out what happened and they won't cough up the password, that should be obstruction of justice, because they're effectively hiding the truth while they're trying to do an investigation. But if you argue that the investigation's over because he's already pled guilty, then maybe it's not obstruction of justice anymore.
So the question is, if this does come to a new trial, will she then be forced to, give up what she's holding on to?
Yeah.
So
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's have
Crazy.
yeah, it is. I honestly try my level best to remain sympathetic to the
Yes.
Gonzalez family, and
It's hard.
they make it incredibly hard. They really do. Robin, she stated it on the interview with Cyree. She said it on the interview with Brian Entin. Yeah.
And I watched the interview with Brian Entin and Steve and Olivia on it, and I may have just missed her saying she had the password. Like I said, I know she said she had the password to get into the account, but did she say clearly she had the password to the phone? I do have people saying she has the password to the phone. She just won't give it to law enforcement.
Well, I'm going to share the link. So if anyone is interested in jumping up here and having a chat with us, asking questions, or just having a good old debate, whatever you prefer, you don't have to be on camera. You can just you can be, camera off, microphone, whatever you want to do. It'd be great to kind of meet a couple of you. So I'm just going to post this now. The post is in the chat. Sorry, the post is in the chat. The link is in the chat. Yeah, have you got anything coming up that's exciting, or on either one of your channels, Lee, that you've got planned that you don't want to, that's not a surprise or a...
What do I have? I'm starting to get more into the Alec Murdaugh case because the retrial that's going to happen. So we bought a book, the definitive book on the Alec Murdaugh case, and we're reading that as a team. And I'm doing a book series for members only, diving into that case. So we're going to go slow and steady. But for those who are members, they can watch me do a chapter by chapter analysis of the book as I re-educate myself there. We're waiting, of course, for Richard Allen's appeal to see if that goes through in September, to see whether he gets a retrial or something on the Delphi murders. So we've got a lot of irons in the fire on the Beyond channel. I've got some big plans for the Beyond channel as well. So I've got little stuff going on, but nothing I can hang my hat on yet.
Yeah, I just did my first reading on the Delphi case. I read Richard Allen.
Oh yeah,
I literally I still know nothing about. I'm doing a True Crime Tuesday, so I still know nothing about him. And I don't know how it landed. It wasn't as popular as my same sort of issue you've had,
Sure. Yeah, anything
as my Idaho 4.
Yeah,
Exactly. But I'm gonna stick with it, and I'm gonna build the momentum. It's going to end up being another series because there's so much to unlock on that one. But anyway, we have got someone We have got someone backstage.
Oh,
So we're going
nice.
to add Hula. We are going to add Hula, but hold on a second. Unmute your guests. I have. Oh, is she gone? He or she?
That happens a lot. People will jump in and then either a technical difficulty or stage fright kicks in and they're gone.
So someone was here and they've gone. So I don't know if that was my fault or they just bottled it. I don't know. But if that was
Yeah.
a technical gone.
Oh, I'm reading the chat. People are talking about Jay Embry. They're talking about Olivia from the Chronicles of Olivia and marrying Steve Jr. So there's a lot of questions going out there, but those are all long answers. But
yeah.
Oh,
I mean, go on.
Oh, sorry. I have a book. I did a book series that I started. And see, what happens is when I do members only book series is very few people watch it, like 10 people at best. And I'm like, do I want to keep doing this for 10 people? I should just stay on it because I'm learning something myself, whether or not people are listening to me or not. But anyways, someone said the Chaos book series. I started to look into Chaos because JJ from Stay of the Deep, who had come on our show, said this book Chaos about the Manson murders way back in the day, the old Manson murders. There's a book called Chaos. And and he said, it's an amazing book. And I was doing a review of it. And I stopped it midway because nobody was watching. But lately, I have people like the one that just said, I'd sell my soul if you continued the Chaos series. Okay, I've got it bookmarked for ours left. I will continue the Chaos series. Everybody keeps asking me to continue the Chaos series. I'll get back into that. So thank you for pushing me over the edge today.
That's interesting. So Robin wants to pop in, but for some reason I'm trying to add her.
Do you see her backstage?
Yeah,
You should just be able to click add to stage.
Wait a minute.
Now, the only problem is the layout that you have selected. If the layout you have selected is only for 2 people, it's possible. There she is.
There we go.
Hello,
hey,
can you guys hear me?
I can hear you. How is it going?
Oh, doing well, thank you. I want to explain this. I have tried to explain this to DA. Way back when, Bubbly Waters had an interview with Christy. She played an interview with Christy, and they stated way back then that they had access to Kaylee's phone account. And that's how they could go in and do certain things. They were asked specifically by the cops, I guess, if they had deleted her LinkedIn. They said, no, they would not delete the LinkedIn. From that point forward, they have always had access to Kaylee's phone account.
Right.
Now, they said in the interview when they were on with Cy Ray on Brian Enton, they said specifically they have access to Kaylee's her password to her phone, as well as they still have access to her account, but they will not give the information to MPD because they want to see what's on that phone before the cops do. And the cops will not give them Kaylee's phone back.
So so thank you for clarifying, because I always thought, did I imagine that? But it seemed that what was happening. I watched the interview, so maybe I didn't imagine it. I just don't remember the exact wording, because that's the impression I got as well, that it was like they're in a standoff. The Gonzalez have the password, law enforcement have the phone, and they won't work with each other.
Yeah, because they want to control what gets out there from Kaylee's phone. That's the problem. But what they're also doing, in my view, is obstructing justice, because there could be, information on that phone that could help shed more light on the case. But also now we've seen that apparently Mowry had access to downloaded from that phone, records from Kaylee's phone. So they've lied this whole time that they've never been able to get anything off of Kaylee's phone. That came out in recent documents.
Yeah. So because it's the first I've heard of this, that Mowry has got content from Kaylee's phone. So why has that now not been included in evidence? What he's held on to it, or?
No, I think it's been something that they've been trying to hide from the public, and somebody through a public records request, managed to uncover the truth that has been extracted. So they've been they didn't want the public to know it was done, because you can't ask for something you don't even know exists. So they just haven't told the public that it exists. And now that some documents come out verifying that they have it, now it's like, well, shit, you have it. So now we can see it. And I think they're freaking out. I think personally they're freaking out right now because they didn't want the public to even know that they had it. So,
right.
But then it leads to the $1 million question. Is everybody just playing games? Like, do the Gonzalez's know that the phone's already been accessed and that they have it? Is the whole fight between the two of them not wanting to give each other the information just for the public to feel like, are they both lying to us? And the whole thing is they have it, and they've had it for a while now, and both sides are pretending like they're not giving it up so that the public thinks that there's nothing to go after. Because that's what makes me wonder, is it an elaborate ploy to make us give up asking about it because, well, we know they don't have it because they're fighting about it. But maybe they're not really fighting about it. Maybe it's already been accessed and they just want us to think that they're fighting over it, and maybe it's already accessed.
I just don't buy that they don't know what's on her phone. They've got her password. They can get into her cloud. They must know what's on there. Surely.
Yeah, good point. DoubleOcean's two-factor authentication is another wrinkle to this whole thing. So is it a two-factor authentication issue? The website won't recognize the device Olivia's using. So there you go. So if Olivia is trying to, for example, a lot of times if your two-factor is set up on the phone that physically is in the possession of law enforcement, she could have the password, but she can't verify the two-factor authentication by accepting the incoming message on the phone or whatever. So maybe maybe that's part of the thing. Maybe the two-factor is part of the problem.
It's just awful that they're playing these kinds of games. This is not a game. But they act like, they just want to keep everything hidden and keep burying things and, all these conflicting stories. And it's like, I don't understand why. Why doesn't everyone want the truth in this case?
So I'll speculate, but so none of this can be proven. But if I were the Gonzalez's, I wouldn't want Kaylee's phone accessed. I would want to get in there and delete everything first, because you've got an entire foundation and huge lawsuits, and all of that's at risk if the public finds out something that hurts the official narrative. So you're going to want to get in there and delete that shit so that nobody sees it. If you're law enforcement, you don't want people finding out about it, because it may present some other information that's exculpatory to Bryan Kohberger that shows that there was something else that happened that night. And so both sides don't want the public finding out what's on the phone.
Right.
Yeah. Either way, whatever the reason, it's exposing some kind of lies, corruption, deceit, I just.
Right. Well, I just wanted to pop up there and clarify that, but I will go back down and let somebody else come up.
Yeah, you can stay, Robin. You don't have to go.
Thanks for clarifying. I'm glad that you clarified the order that happened in. So.
Yeah, whoever it was, I think it was, I can't remember what was the name, Hula. If you're still here, I think it was me. It was my fault, the reason that I couldn't add you. So if you're still here, try again. I should be able to get you up on the stage now. Yeah. Was that your cat, Lee? I saw that as well. Did you black cat going behind you?
Yeah, that's my cat Smudge, which is a very fitting name for
getting big.
Is she a kitten? He or she?
He. Dang it! See, there he is again. So apparently, Smudge wants to be on camera. So there you go. This is Smudge. He's our newest addition of our family, and he's a terror. But I kid you not, he beats the hell out of all the older cats. He has not learned boundaries. So.
Oh, is that number 6 then?
It's 5. It's 5.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So cute. New News Weekly. Just want someone to talk about the footage of the 3 people at 3:15 a.m. running behind 1119. Are we talking about the people that were caught on the camera of the Banfield stop, or are we talking about something else? So that's the only one I'm aware of where you see people running in the background.
Yeah, that's about the timing of the Banfield thing.
Yeah, I think that's the right one.
But I don't know that they were running behind 1119. I thought they were more over towards the whites.
Yeah, they were running by.
Yeah. Which is on the way from King Road,
Right.
Road's cul-de-sac to Sigma Chi, back to Sigma Chi.
I have my own theories on that, but it's definitely not based on, it's not based on documented evidence or anything like that. It's more based on what I've picked up in readings. And that is that whatever that was about was could have been the hugest, biggest cock up ever, because that was never meant to have been captured on camera, and it could have given a lot away. And I think it was something to do with people running from the scene of a crime. So yeah, what's your thoughts on it, Lee?
About the Banfield stop or the?
Well, about that, and also the people that were running in the background.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the timing is suspicious, and I think that they possibly could have been involved in what happened that night. But again, law enforcement, everybody and their dog is acting like we're morons because the timing isn't right. That nothing could be happening at 3:00 in the morning or 3:15 because the murders happened at 4:05 or 4:20 or whatever the hell it is. So they just keep shutting it down. But no, I think intuitively, I think the runners and distractions that were going on and all that stuff like that are possible leads to what actually happened. And I think that they don't want us asking those questions.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely suspicious. And like you say, so let's just not worry about that. There's nothing to see there. Hi, Tina. Good to see you.
Hello, Sue. I finally want to meet you face to face after all this time.
Oh, bless you. Bless you. Whereabouts are you?
In South Africa, in Johannesburg.
Wow.
Yeah, so like we're an hour behind you at the moment, but I just wanted to come in and just say I love your live streams. I love Lee. You two make such a good combination. You couldn't have asked for better. And I love your cat. And I will one day get a live reading with you and hopefully get my bracelet.
Oh, bless you. Yeah, honestly, those names stay in that bag, so your name should come out at some point. It's lovely to see you.
But remember, it came up, so you've got to send it to me because of the problem with Otter Spirit. Yes,
are you that Tina?
Yes.
It's on its way to you. I posted it, so it should be with you. I'm hoping it'll be with you in the next, I don't know, week or so. So Tina, because I give away an Otter Spirit bracelet every month to anyone who submits their name. And poor Tina, because it's basically I just go to Otter Spirit and say so and so's won the bracelet, and they'll send it direct from there. Well, they've gone to do it, and then they've come back to me and said, we're really sorry, but we don't post to South Africa because we have nothing but problems mailing out to South Africa. So oh gosh, now what do I do? So I said, look, just mail it to me. Mail it to me, and then I'll mail it to Tina. So it's been all around the world, but it is on its way to you. It's got the energy of the world.
Nice.
I've got it all coming to me, but I wanted to just say as well that what you've said about the case today and the phones, I agree with Lee and you, because as a mom, it would be hard for everyone to see every single thing in my daughter's account. But on another thing, if they could just read for the date of the day that they passed and for the next day, and just let us see what's going on with those dates, then we could all just move on. But I mean, they're being so difficult about it. So by doing that, they're actually making themselves, in my eyes, that's my opinion, they're making themselves look more guilty, because else you'd want the police to be able, even if you said to the police, I only want you to show people for the 3rd and the 4th, and then no other dates and nothing else, then at least we could have more comfort in knowing that that's the truth that's coming out and whatever. Because at the moment now, everyone's stuck, no one's getting anywhere, and it's like a stalemate. Meanwhile, it could maybe help Brian get off by proving Kaylee, like she said in one of your reads, that someone went, Dylan went into her phone and added things to her chats that she didn't even do when she was already passed the next day. So you remember that. So, it's
yes.
Just show us the dates of just the 2 days, because that Dylan and Bethany definitely they didn't that day. Bethany as well, to me, looked a bit scaly by just running away to the corner to a mom or whoever her family was. And, it's like, we just want the truth. But I mean, I think, Sue, maybe with two of you together, you're going to come to a stage where you are going to get this solved. And I'm just praying and hoping, but I watch every live stream. I watch all your shows, Sue. So, yes, you've got a real fan here in South Africa. And I couldn't have been more shocked when you drew my name. And I love the cat.
Oh, thank
so
you.
cool.
It's so
It took me
lovely.
it took me a lot of courage to come into the studio. I didn't know if I should.
Oh, I'm so glad you did. It's so lovely to see you. Got beautiful energy, honestly.
Oh, thank
I
you very much. Sue.
I do agree with
I'm
you
gonna
about
do-
the about the situation with the phone. I just think, they're at the end of the day, let's not forget law enforcement are very good at redacting stuff. So I'm sure that they would also be very, stuff that we don't need to see, something that's personal to do with her, then it would be redacted, So I don't know. I just think there's more to it than they think,
So do I,
that
but
we,
you think we need to solve this now. It's going on and on and on.
I know. That's why I have to be so careful now when people are asking me to read this person and read that person and read, and I'm like, whoa, we have to maybe try and get to something solid with what I've already got and see what happens. But yeah, it's just
so many people. People must go back into your list like I had to do when I joined, and I had to go all the way back and read all of them. Let them do that. But I think you're coming close, but I don't know what's going to make it like finally be the thing. Maybe if there is another trial, then maybe that will be it. I don't know. But I just got a feeling that maybe, maybe it's going to be something small that's going to like click everything into place for you, Sue, because I mean, you go so in depth in your readings that it's going to take, I don't know, that's just my feeling I've got. Maybe it's something that's just going to eventually just, in South Africa we say the word click. If something's just going to click in your brain, and then it's going to maybe all just come together.
Yeah,
but
I agree. I agree.
I love you. I love your kids, and I love Lee. So it's so nice to have met you. I'm so happy.
Thank you so much, Tina. Thank you. It's so lovely to have met you as well. And I will keep you updated. I'll let you know how your bracelet's doing. It's on its way.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Take care, my lovely.
Bye. And you.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye. Bye. Yeah, it's funny because it's funny because the one thing she said though about the if we could just have the 24 hours or whatever the day of, the problem is that's a slippery slope. Because what if there's a text message during the last 12 hours that it's like, well, who the hell was that from? Where's the rest of the conversation? It's going to lead to, well, we need to go back further on the phone. We're going to need to go back. So, I mean, while it's easy to say, if we could just have the day of the murders, that would be enough. But it probably won't, because you're going to see something you're like, wait a minute, I want the context of that conversation. That might be something that was happening. So
I mean, I suppose it may end up taking, like I said, I think all the time that there's no evidence to be heard, then we're not going to know. But if it does end up going to a new trial, then potentially a new defense team are going to be demanding, that kind of thing as part of the evidence, which is obviously crucial. It's crucial. I mean, what happens then? It's crucial evidence for the defense, especially if it's exculpatory for Brian.
I think, and part of the problem is I think is that there's a difference between reopening Brian Kohberger's trial and reopening the investigation. And that's one of the things I think we need to kind of talk about a minute. If all they do is, for some reason, Kohberger is, and again, it's still a long shot for him, but if he gets a retrial, they're still going to go fundamentally with just the story that Brian Kohberger did it, and here's how he did it. They're not going to be looking at new suspects. They're not going to reopen the whole thing. No. What people really want is the investigation reopened, to say, maybe you didn't fully investigate this or fully investigate this, and we want to see how you. So what we really want, I think, is the case reopened. to start reinvestigating. But they're going to, even if you get to trial, they're going to just go with this is the guy that did it, and everything else that's not related to why he did it is irrelevant.
Yeah, it comes down to as you said, it comes down to reasonable doubt. But in order to create reasonable doubt, that may involve having to bring up other things that, I don't know. It is like, how do you explain this? How do you explain this situation if it was him? I don't know. Hey, Aspen. Welcome to the stage. How are you doing?
Good. So an area that I've been going down recently is so he had applied to the police department, and we all know he's in criminology. He was trying to he was a PhD student, and the thing is I've been going down what if this is part of his dissertation to graduate? What if, because he was interested in learning about burglaries, learning about motivated crimes like that. And so what if this is all just because in that field of study, you have to actually have research for your dissertation. And so, I mean, that's kind of where I'm kind of thinking about it, is this could all be, I don't know, because in my head, when I'm looking at the crime scene pictures, how they numbered the pictures, there's some of them with the little decal showing what number the picture is. And then some of them are white, some of them are the color of the school. And so I don't know, that's one area. But then there's another one, I used to be an addict. And when I was an addict, I used to trade personal belongings for stuff. And so if that's another avenue, if they were indeed doing business out of their house, there's many times I traded stuff not knowing or thinking about where it eventually would land up.
Yeah. That's an interesting, that last comment and is interesting, because for those people who think Kohberger had gotten back into drugs or whatever, even if you weren't doing hard drugs, if you were just doing Adderall to help you stay focused in school or do some late night hitting of the books, and we know Adderall was moving through the house, or at least we have a strong suspicion Adderall is moving through the house. So could someone like a Kohberger, like you said, doesn't have a lot of money, but I can give you this cool knife sheath or this knife, this K-bar knife that brand new that I got as a down payment or a collateral, whatever. If that happened, then it places. But again, you would think in that situation, as I start to work through it, there'd be a hell of a lot more DNA on it than just a single source piece of skin on the snap kind of thing. But anyways, that's a good point as well to think about, is whether or not something like that could have ended up in their possession of the house because it was just somebody traded something or whatever. So.
I in that type of scene, I mean, it's not unheard of for people to be trading certain things like that. I mean, it's not of extreme value, but it's enough value to get you what you need for the day.
Right. Yeah, no, it's a point I never really considered before. It's a really interesting point.
And it doesn't mean he had to have been doing it at that exact moment. I mean, I've been clean for 6 years, and there's people that still have some stuff that I traded them back in the day.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
But I just wanted to say that, but I don't know. I'm still looking at the dissertation thing, because in order to graduate, you have to have that dissertation. And in order to have that dissertation, you need the research behind it. And in order to get the research, you need to actively envelop yourself in the crime.
Yeah. Go ahead, Sue. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I did find, a point of interest when they were releasing the pictures of Brian's apartment, and they took the pictures of the books that he was studying, and some of the things he was studying was leaning in towards why people. It was something along the lines of why people plead guilty when they're innocent, or something like that. I don't know if you ever saw that. Did you see that, Lee?
Which one?
So they would take the evidence, the pictures of that's in evidence of Brian's apartment, and they took
Yeah.
pictures of the textbooks that he was studying.
Yes.
And they were all laid out, and
Yes.
they were, some of them were something to do with why people plead guilty when they're innocent
Yes.
or things like that.
Yes.
And I remember
Yes.
looking at thinking, what?
I
That's
know.
just crazy.
Right.
You know, I don't know. Is that just too much of a coincidence? Yeah.
I know. I said the same thing. But like, what are the odds that the books in his possession are? Now, granted, he's a criminal, so you can play devil's advocate with me. He's a criminology student, so those are the types of books that he would get for just regular coursework. But how weird is it that literally in his possession was a book on why people plead guilty to things they didn't do, how the court systems over prosecute people. That's the stuff that's in his room.
Exactly.
When he gets arrested for a quadruple homicide, and you're thinking to yourself, is that just unlucky, freaky ass timing, or you're right, like, or is there something bigger going on? Is now the problem with the dissertation idea from my perspective, and it's funny because when I first got into this case, I thought to myself, what if this was back when I was contemplating Kohberger actually did the killings, and I thought, what if this guy, you know, wanted to prove that he's learned criminology so well that he can get away with the perfect murder. And so what if in his mind he's like, I'm going to prove I'm a master of criminology by pulling off a murder and getting away with it, kind of thing. But you certainly can't write that up in your dissertation and go, okay, now I want my PhD because I killed somebody and got away with it. Like you're never going to be able to show the work on that. So it became more of an exercise of like, was it a bravado? Like I'm going to show how good I am at this because nobody will know that the entire time when I got my PhD that I was actually a serial killer and I'd done this multiple times and got away with it. But I think it starts to break down the more I think about it. It starts to defy a little bit of logic, but it is something I considered for a while about the whole, like, is this some kind of dissertation work? But
I didn't go down that route. I went, sorry, Aspen. I went more down the route of, is he an undercover, you know, agent or something that was playing the part of a patsy, or that's the route my head went down. But yeah, what were you saying, Aspen?
Another thing is what I don't like with the G's is that they keep trying to bring back the idea that this was a sexually motivated crime. They keep bringing up things about getting held down and sleeping women. And the thing is, when they interviewed that one professor, she said that he had a very strong rationality in thinking that he doesn't like predators. She kind of in her interview, she was like against that. So I don't understand why he thought like that. Like, shouldn't we all not like predators?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then if that's what they're trying to do, and they're trying to bring in his searches. Well, he was a PhD student in this type of field. If that's the case, then everybody that's involved with figuring out this crime, then we're all guilty.
Right.
Because my search history probably would make me guilty because I'm looking up certain things in this case.
100%. Like they were trying to link they said he was obsessed with Ted Bundy and things like that. Well, if you're a criminology student, he's a great person to be obsessed with. At the end of the day, he's the master. Well, not the master because he didn't get away with it, but you know, it's, I don't know, if you're going to study someone, you're going to study Ted Bundy.
Right. And it's funny because as an aside, I grew up loving Stephen King books when I was younger, and Dean Koontz and stuff like that. And so I've always wanted to be a writer. I can't tell you the number of books I bought over my life on crime scene investigation and death. How long does it take for maggots to form on a body? How do you disguise a murder? Because I wanted to write books about murderers that get away with stuff. So my collection is full of books on how to get away with murder. How long does it take for a body to decompose? If you change the temperature, how long can you disguise when the time of, like, I was researching that because I wanted to write books about that kind of stuff for fantasy. But if I was ever convicted of murder or accused, to be like, his search history includes how long does it take a body to, decompose? So he's clearly thinking about it. Well, maybe there's more to it.
Big trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so true though. So true.
I wanted to say that, but thank you for having me on.
Thank you
Yeah.
so much, Aspen. It's super interesting. Really appreciate your point of view. Thank you.
You guys have a great day. Bye.
You too.
You too. Bye bye. I just saw a comment from J Rod, and I just wanted to address it because you mentioned something about it not being Brian's name. The reason I'm addressing it is because I actually find that comment very interesting because of a recent channeling session I had with, oh, gosh, don't quote me. I think it was Maddie. I know it was fairly recent, so it would have been either Maddie or potentially Xana, who basically alluded to the fact that that wasn't his real name. I was exactly that. So is that also tying into what I said in regards to him being is that what's the reason for you saying that, by the way? J Rod, you've said you can prove it. I'm not asking you to prove it, but
I am.
Is,
I want to see it. I want to see it. Yeah. I would love to see it.
Yeah. But is the reason behind the name, or the fact that it's not his real name because he is undercover? Is that what this is about, or is it something else?
Yeah, I would love. I mean, I don't know what you can and can't share, but if you have the willingness to share receipts, I would love you to email contact@devilsadvocates.info so I can look at some of the receipts. But if you don't trust me or whatever, that's fine. But when someone says they can prove something, I am all about trying to find out and look into that myself. So
yeah. I recognize your name as well, J Rod. I think you've commented on a couple of my videos in the past. You may have emailed me. I don't know if you have. And I do apologize if I didn't respond to you, not because anything other than just the volume of emails. I don't manage to respond to everyone. But yeah, interesting. And that you know people in high places as well. It's intriguing. You said I'll try doing that. I've been posting my receipts on TikTok. If somebody wants links, just email me. Okay. Do you mind me asking whereabouts you are? I presume you're in the USA, are you? And whether you lived close to the incident, or without giving too much away? And guys, in the chat, it's good to have a a chat, conversation, debate, whatever you want to call it. There's no need, not that I can see anything untoward going on in the chat, but just to sort of say to people, let's just have a conversation. Let's not get upset or anything like that. If you have info you'd like to share, or email us, yeah. I think you've already got my email address as well, which is open and advertised as Revelation Tarot Investigates at gmail.com. Whole thing's a false flag. Okay. I mean, just on that sentence alone, my opinion would be it's an awful lot to go through to cover up one person's death. But that's just my opinion. It seems to be, I don't know why they would have to go to the lengths to cover up someone like Hannah Clear's death, but yeah. You live in the northwest side of Chicago, 3 miles. Best friend lives in Lewiston. Zach Cope. Okay. I have to ask the question. You're not the same person as Hannah's brother, are you? Because I know that Hannah's brother, whose name is Justin, I believe, has been quite prolific in trying to get the message out there. Similar message, I have to say, about Hannah. I'm just asking you if you are that person. You may not want to say you are or not, but yeah, if you want to jump up on stage and have a conversation, we can do that. You don't have to answer anything you don't want to. So are you the same person? Yes, you are, Justin. Okay. Are you able to answer the question simply as to why there would be this level of cover up for one? And I'm not diminishing the importance of your sister at all, but for what reason would there be this level of cover up for Hannah? And you may not be able to answer that because it may be too complex, but
And has he? I don't know if you know or if he wants to clarify, but has he given a position about whether Hannah Cleary was a bullying situation? Did she commit suicide? Was it a forced overdose? Was it a murder? Because, you know, I think the official thing was sleeping pill overdose kind of thing and an accident, right? And then there's rumors that she was being bullied or hazed or whatever, and that turned into something. Then there was retaliation for that, and maybe the girls in the house were bullying her. So I'm curious. I don't know his story enough to know what, if he's come out with a personal opinion or statement about what exactly happened to Hannah.
yeah. Sinaloa cartel.
Oh, I never heard this one. Yeah. Sinaloa
Hannah
cartel
was an informant, as was Hudson Lindo. They were informants.
I think we went after some public records on Hannah and Hudson, but I think we didn't get anything because they're just listing them as closed.
Are you alluding to, I'm not sure if I misread it, are you saying that the 4 victims have actually not, or have I misread that? Are you saying that they have been, that what happened, but not the way we believe it? Or are you saying that they're still alive?
I think I saw his comment saying earlier that he believes that Hannah is part of the reason that things happened at 11/22. I think that's what I understood. So, J-Rod, if that's not correct, please correct me on that.
Okay.
Yeah, and he answered my question, not an overdose. Mabbitt falsified the toxicology. You can't OD on 40 milligrams of generic over-the-counter sleep aid medications. It's impossible. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm the only person who's ever been given Hannah's paperwork. No one else will ever be able to get it. Next of kin. I'm so sorry for your loss. You know, and if what you're saying is, I'm not accusing you of, you know, of lying or anything, but if what you're saying is true and factual, then because there's clearly something going on. There's clearly something going on. Yeah, I cannot comment. I can't comment on what you've just said regarding Maddie and Kaylee. It puts me and probably puts Lee in a difficult position as well. I have to remain respectful. No one's, and I've said this before, you know, just because you pass, you know, because you pass over does not automatically make you an angel. So, and everyone has got, you know, checkered pasts. No one's perfect. And, you know, I have picked up from Kaylee from certain times when I've done channeling sessions with her. There's certain things that she will not talk to me about and that she's ashamed of. And I've never been able to find out what that was, but potentially it could be that kind of thing. I don't know, but You know, do you have, I'm not asking for it now, but do you have evidence of Hannah, for instance, talking to you? Do you have documented evidence before this happened of the situation between her and Kaylee? You know, have you got her phone records, that kind of thing? I'm not saying I want it. I just, you know, I'm asking you the question. I think we should probably be a little bit careful about talking about I have all kinds of records and all kinds of things. I've been posting and exposing them for years. I'm sure there's some people that are taking you seriously, but what can we do? You know, it's a very difficult position, because even if we end up with some, you know, solid evidence of something that has or hasn't happened, how far does it get? You know, people can report things and they just get buried, as you probably have yourself. You've probably tried to report stuff. You've probably tried to get this further than it being in your possession. And what happens? Nothing, probably. So you know, I wouldn't tar everyone with the same brush, is what I would say. And you just keep fighting. That's all you can do, is just keep fighting. Yeah. Thank you for your take, though, Justin. Yeah, Epstein, I did. I think I've done a couple of, I'm not sure if I've done more than one, but it's the kind of subject I don't like to delve into too much, because you just don't know what it invites. You know, you don't know how it would affect. I don't know how it would affect my channel. You know, you hear about people's channels just getting shut down for no reason, and I don't want to be one of them. Put it that way. Yeah. Have you contacted the Innocence Project? Are you her only sibling, Justin? What's the situation with your family? Do you have any other siblings, parents? Are you all fighting for the same outcome? Obviously, you're all fighting for Hannah if you are in contact with family, but are you all on the same page, is what I'm saying? You mentioned a younger brother. David Duke was chief before Fry. He worked for during the Alpha. Okay, I have to say it's gone over my head. I don't know a lot of what that's about because I'm in the UK, but obviously I know who Fry is. Yeah. So just looking at these comments here, trying to keep up with the chat as well. Should have completely got. I think the best thing to do, honestly, Justin, is drop us an email the director's now coming to get involved.
It's time for his lunch
yeah.
or dinner. Yeah.
Drop us an email. I just, I appreciate, your situation, and I think both of us, both Lee and I, would like to hear more. But I don't think we're going to resolve anything right now for you. I mean, obviously not now, but
yeah, if I can find his channel, I'll go start looking through the receipts. The biggest problem is with that, of course, is, wow, nice tail.
He does like to show it off.
Right. Is that, again, without the receipts, like, and he says he has the receipts, and that's great. But if I take him literally, I'm the only one who will ever see the receipts. It doesn't do any good to anybody. Like, nobody can break something open that we can't see the receipts. If we can't get our hands on the receipts and be able to prove the receipts are authentic, then it's, whether we trust you or not, it's your word against everyone else in the world. And you can say what happened all day long, but it can't prove anything. We have to be able to prove it. That's the hard part. But
that's it. Exactly. And also, as much impact as we can have as, people that have a following on YouTube or wherever, would it still have as much impact as taking it through proper channels or reporting things, or which I don't know if you've done or not, but yeah. And we've all been trying for 4 years to make an impact, which community-wise we have done, but not on the case itself, unfortunately. I don't think. Unless, what do you think? Do you think we've, what we do as people that are fighting for the justice, justice either for Brian or for the 4 people that passed on that day? Do you think what we're doing has made a difference? Do you think it's had an impact on anything that's happened so far?
100%, which is kind of one of the things that I got a little irritated when, Dr. Turvey was kind of crapping on true crimers for making it sensational. And my counter to that is, if we hadn't been raising holy hell about this case, there wouldn't have been a Christopher Whitcomb to come forward and write a book. There wouldn't have been the traction. We've given traction to it because a whole community is saying, holy shit, this is bullshit. And people started re-looking. And that's the thing. I think us raising the alarms has made people who normally would have dismissed it go, why are they still talking about that? Like, what did we miss? And so it's made people go back and look. And I think it is opening it up now.
I do. I do agree with that. I just wonder if it will eventually get to the point where we end up with the desired outcome, of at the very least, getting Brian off the hook. But again, we don't know. We still don't know. Nobody really knows. We could all be sitting here trying to defend someone that is a complete psychopath and is a mass murderer. We don't know, do we?
Yeah.
So,
and I say the one thing people hate me saying, which is, I don't care. At the end of the day, I don't care if he was or he wasn't involved. I want to know what happened, period. And if he was the killer, then convince me, and I'll be like, then he deserves what he's got coming to him. But if he didn't, I want to know as well. So I don't have a dog in the fight. I'm not being a pro burger and saying he didn't do it and I want him to go free. I don't know if he did or didn't. I have no reason to believe at this point that there's any better evidence against him than 12 other people that could have been the murderer. So convince me that he's the right guy. Other than saying, well, he pled guilty, so it has to be him, because he also changed his mind with the guilty plea. So
exactly, I totally agree. But yeah. So sorry, Tara, just reading your comment. I'm going to get to thanking people in a second, because I know there's been a few donations that have been. I've not ignored them. I know they're there, so I'm going to thank some people in a second. But your comment, Tara, which is nobody's been rude to anyone here in the chat. Not sure what you're talking about, to those saying someone being rude to. Is Jeff in here? Is Jeff actually in here? So far, he's been pretty well behaved, I have to say, if he's here so far.
So far. He's generally good on my channel too, but he's caused he gets people pissed off. That's for sure. And
that's the problem, isn't it? If people cannot react to him, then maybe we could have an interesting conversation.
Correct.
I'm happy to have a debate with him. But it's just other people, if they're going to get upset because he's not aligning with what they're thinking, or he's challenging them, or he's being argumentative. There's a difference as far as I'm concerned. People can be healthily argumentative, or you can end up being dismissive and disrespectful. That's different. But I've not experienced that side of him yet. And I like to form my own opinions about people. So, and I think there's a few people here that have already formed an opinion about him because they've seen him on other channels. That might be what the problem is. But as long as he's not disrupting anyone, I'm happy to have a conversation. Yeah, there's far worse people out there. Oh my God. I'm sure you know as well, Lee, that you've come across far worse people than Jeff.
Oh yes, for sure.
Yeah. He's just highly opinionated. Exactly. He's passionate. He's passionate about his beliefs.
Yeah. And I don't mind passion. Just do it respectfully, and you're good.
Yeah, exactly. My question to Jeff would be: is there anything that could possibly ever change your mind about what you believe? You know, if there was cold hard evidence put down in front of you, would you be the type to concede, or would you be the type to say, yes, well, that's just been made by AI, or it's not real, or it's that would be my main question for someone like Jeff. And I would answer the same question as well about my beliefs. If I was shown cold hard evidence that Brian did it, I would accept it. I would 100% accept it. I think a lot of people did, didn't they? When he pleaded guilty, the amount of channels that just went, hands up, I was wrong. That's the end of that. He's guilty. Done. Yeah, done. So yeah. Thank you so much, Kim, for the jewels, if that's me. Kim, I don't know. I've only got StreamYard open.
Yes, that one was you, and then one of my channels got a gift after that from a couple weekends. So thank you. I didn't say thank you for that, but so we're both getting some gifts there. Thank you. So much.
I'm going to just quickly check these names now. I don't know if you're able to see. I'm going to the starred bit on StreamYard so you can see all the donations, Lee, just so you know where I'm getting these from.
Okay.
So Jennifer, again, I don't know. I'm just saying thank you for everyone, okay? Whether they've come to this channel or one of Lee's channels, I'm just saying a general thank you. So, and I think this might be yours because there's a paperclip on it, which is Jennifer's. Don't know, but either way, thank you. The Marsha Davidson, thank you so much. Super kind of you. Mugsy, super kind of you. Heather Neeland, thank you. Melissa, thank you. Jessica, Alicia, thank you for, if that's me or you, there's a new member there. Again, I don't know which side, but someone's become a new member.
If it has it should have a paperclip on it. If it has a paperclip, it's one of my channels, and if it's not, it should be you. But
well, either way, welcome to someone's family.
Welcome to someone's family.
Melissa, which I think is yours because there is a paperclip. Thank you for your donation as well. Oh, Melissa, I think I don't know. I think but there's two for you there by the looks of it. There's been a lot going on while we've been talking. Dee, thank you again for your donation. Jules, thank you so much. Shells 7345, thank you for your super generous donation. I think I actually mentioned you earlier because you're from Texas, and you also donated to Lee, because we mentioned you earlier. Heather, thank you. Uncensored Cyclone, thank you. Apple Cakes, thank you. I didn't realize you donated as well. Thank you so much for those donations. That's super kind of you. Karen, wow, you are amazing. Thank you so much for that incredibly generous donation. Thank you. And we've got Annette. Thank you. Good to see you here, Annette. Taurus, great to see you. Thank you for your donation. Couples Weekends, thank you. Jasper, thank you. Kim House again. Wow, what an amazingly generous donation. Thank you. Couples Weekends again. So many here. J.C. Fitzpatrick, thank you. Couples Weekends again, thank you. And Jasper the Jester again, thank you. Thank you, everyone. And the goat trophy from Kim, thank you. Wow. Amazing, all of you. So it's been interesting. I've quite enjoyed having a chat with a couple of people coming up on stage, getting to hear people's opinions. Yeah, I don't know if Justin's left now. I don't know if he has or not, but also an interesting perspective from someone that is so close to the case itself. The question from Taurus, I have done a reading on Tommy. Sorry, I'm just so yes, I have. But if anyone asks me, can you channel him to find out what happened with the Idaho 4? My answer will be no, because he's in spirit, and regardless of what people think, I don't feel he's in spirit right now fighting for the Idaho 4. Maybe in time he might be, but not right now. So yeah, I wouldn't try and connect to Tommy regarding the Idaho 4. I don't think exactly. Cookie, let him rest. Exactly. But anyway, what's your plans for the rest of the day, Lee? Anything? Oh, you're muted.
I was going to say, yeah, I have really exciting plans. I'm going to clean the house and get ready for cards with some friends this afternoon. So that's pretty much my afternoon. I know that's pretty exciting.
Very nice. Yeah. Very nice. Mine is bath and bed.
Nice. That sounds better, perhaps, than cleaning the house. But the cards are all right. Yeah. Cleaning the house, not so much.
Oh, so is that your job normally?
It is becoming that, because I'm a work from home person, and my wife now has a steady job where she goes all day long. So now I'm going to have to learn to be a little housewife and do my thing.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
It's
all good.
Good for you. Good for you. Sunday chores.
Yep, for sure.
Cleaning up after the cats. That must be a job in itself. just for 5 cats.
Fair. Yeah. Yes, it is.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. And I will be back on tomorrow. Grateful you're on. Love this group. Thank you, Annette. Hannah, great to see you here as well. What did you say? I'm sure he's met them all by now. Such nice people who, sorry, always get lost. People's comments are like, what are we?
Yeah, it's like, what?
Someone's gifted a membership for you there.
Thank you for gifting a membership on our side. Appreciate all the love. And I'm glad that the main channel got to watch this. This was not something I normally broadcast to the main channel. So the main channel had a decent little audience today checking out at a weird time. They're probably trying to figure out what the hell's going on and why you're in charge of everything and I'm just in the back seat. But it's kind of cool. I like not having to work as much. I get to let you be in charge.
Yeah, I know you're always worried about streaming to your main channel and thinking they're all going to just unsub. What is this rubbish? I thought
this guy was receipts based and now he's on with this stuff. What the hell's going on? Yeah.
See, they didn't happen.
Yeah, we should be fine.
Yeah, exactly. Wendy, this was great chat, Sue, Lee, and other members. Thanks, Wendy. It's good to see you here. And yeah, there you go. There's your new member.
Yeah, nice. Thanks.
Yeah, so that's it, I think, for the weekend. I will be back tomorrow with my live reading. And if there is anyone here that's been upset because there's been no regular videos, long form videos, then hopefully that will change from tomorrow onwards. Hopefully I'll have last week was a good week. It was just very busy. It was hectic, my daughter got married and all sorts of other stuff. So yeah, 1,000 jewel goat trophy. Thank you so much. That's super generous, super kind. Thank you. But thank you to the mods and a hello to the replay crew, by the way. Hello, welcome to the replay. Thank you to the mods for doing an amazing job again. To Robin, Tara, Cookie, Hannah, Essie. I don't know if there's anyone else. But yeah, thank you, every single one of you. You've been amazing. Thank you, Lee, for coming again.
Yeah, you bet. Thank you for having me. I appreciate the standing invite. I've been blessed to be on the show on a regular basis. So thank you for letting me come on and share some time with you.
No, thank you. Honestly, people want you here. It's like all the amount of people. I don't know if you get the same on your end, but the amount of people that email me and say, "I love you and Lee together. You're such a good pairing." Like, yeah. So
we hear that on our side too. Yeah. So, yeah.
Oh, it's really good. But yeah, so I will see you next week. Keep meaning to catch up with you about plans for second channels, but I don't know. I'm getting there. As soon as I'm ready, like I said, I've got the second camera ready to go. As soon as I'm ready, I'm trying to catch up with my zodiac readings for September because they're coming out very sporadically. People might have noticed that you're getting like one zodiac reading for September a week. It's not the way I want it. But once I've done that, I'm going to get in touch and we're gonna come to some sort of arrangement about a collaboration reading, which will be really exciting.
Very cool.
Okay.
And Sue's
Thank you, Hannah.
zodiac readings are amazing. You have been so spot on with my Leo. You have helped me kind of prepare for some stuff. So I can attest to the fact that you are so spot on with those. So you guys need to check out her Revelation Astro channel, please. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And please, everyone, I'm sure that my mods have been doing a good job at pasting up the links for Devil's Advocates and Devil's Advocates Beyond channel, but please make sure you go and show Lee some love over there. Go and watch some of his live streams, because if you're anything like me and you put one on, you are going to it's compulsive viewing. It's so good. So please go, and if you haven't experienced it, go and watch. I just wish that I was on a different time zone. But anyway.
I love that comment. How do you talk so fast and make logical sense at the same time? It's a gift. I don't know.
I know it is. Literally is a gift. It is. My brain doesn't work like that at all. I wish it did.
It's funny. I know we're closing, but it's funny because what happened was I have so much in my brain, and usually I don't have anybody willing to listen to me, that if they give me 5 minutes of their time, I'm like, how can I give them as much in 5 minutes as I possibly can before they shut me down and go, enough? So I just and I get it out.
You are super interesting, so don't knock it, honestly. So yeah, thank you, everyone. Thank you, Tammy. Good to see you here. Mod power, exactly. I don't care what anyone says. I can say this actually, because I was going to say I could be insulting you here, but I'm not, because I was just going to say I've got the best mods. But that includes your mods. That includes your mods.
You got the best mods, whatever.
Because I'm also sharing your mods. So yeah. So guys, I'm off now. Gonna play you out. But I will see you. I'll see my crew tomorrow, and I'll see you guys next week. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, guys. Yeah. See you later.